Okay, we are still working in section 1.2, and right now we're working with trigonometric functions, and we're going to go over example 6, which is on page 9 of the notes. So example 6 asks us the following. It says, if the cosine of theta is equal to minus 5/13, find the sine of theta and the tangent of theta if theta is in the interval pi over 2 to pi. So the best way to go about solving this is to draw your angle. Remember, every angle is measured from the positive x-axis. So the interval pi over 2 to pi, or 90 degrees to 180 degrees as measured from the positive x-axis, is in the second quadrant. Okay, so what we need to do is draw a terminal ray that is in the second quadrant. So the terminal ray for our angle is this guy. So then we understand that we're working with this angle. Now when I'm working with an angle in the second quadrant, I then have to draw my what is called my reference triangle. I drop a perpendicular line straight down to the x-axis from the tip of where I drew the ray. This is then a 90-degree angle right here. And then because I know that the cosine of theta is minus 5/13, I know that the reference angle that I need to work with is the smaller than 90-degree angle that is between the terminal ray and the x-axis. So from SOHCAHTOA, I know that the cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So I know that this side is 5, this side is 13. The hypotenuse is never a negative number, so it's 13. And I also understand that this should be a negative 5 because I'm on the negative x-axis. So then the only thing I need to do is figure out the third side of my triangle, which I can either use the Pythagorean theorem, right? Minus 5 squared plus this unknown a squared is equal to 13 squared. And these calculations are done right here to solve for a to be 12. A lot of times I'll give you problems where it's a typical 5, 12, 13, 3, 4, 5, those types of triangles. In this case, it's a 5, 12, 13. But again, you can always use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out what the other side is if it's not something that you should know off the top of your head. So then once you have the three sides of the reference triangle labeled, it's easy to figure out any other of the trigonometric functions. We know that the sine of theta, again, SOHCAHTOA, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So that's 12 over 13. And we know the tangent of theta, SOHCAHTOA, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So opposite is, from my reference angle, the opposite is 12, the adjacent is minus 5. So 12 over minus 5, or minus 12 fifths.